Okay, and we're here with DS106, wire106, week 3.
3 weeks. We're already at 20% through the class, or almost. We're actually less than that. I'm
Yeah.
sure people feel like they've been in this class forever. So how were the roofs last week, Paul?
Roofs were good.
Yeah, you see anything interesting?
Yeah, I was inspecting property. But, yeah,
Did we win the war?
no. Wars end.
All right,
Wars end.
that is true. This is week 3 of Wire 106, as Paul noted, and I just want to do a quick, important notice. Boop, 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 just in, la, 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 for your domain. If you haven't gotten and verified an email about your domain from ICANN, which is the International Domain Registry Company, you have to. It might look like spam. It might be in your junk folder, but find it. If you can't find it, log into UMW Domains, and there'll be a big message saying you need to resend this email so you can confirm it. Do that. And once you confirm it, check your junk and spam, but once you confirm it, you won't have to do this again. But this is just a way to prevent kind of, it's actually done by the people who register domains in the US. It's done to prevent spam domains. So once you do that, you'll be set. But if you don't, your domain will be suspended, and they'll have this big suspension message up there until you confirm the domain. You'll have to put in your email and get this email anyway. So try and do it now to prevent any confusion. Okay, that's it. I wanted to give that special announcement. Over. All right.
All
So
right.
this week we're going to be talking about storytelling, and not only storytelling in kind of more generalized sense of stories and the shape of stories, which we've been watching unfold in season 1 of The Wire. And there's a good little 4-minute video from Vonnegut, which is fun and brilliantly told to kind of, just get you thinking about stories. And then, Paul, you recommended, which I can agree with more, Brian Alexander's Web 2.0 Storytelling, which is a great book. And this is a chapter from the book. Well, actually, Web 2.0 Storytelling is a chapter within the book, New Digital Storytelling. So, good call. Points on that?
Yeah. Um, it's good because it goes into the idea of what is digital storytelling and what can it be. Um, some people have sort of a limited idea of what it is,
Yeah,
and it can really go into a lot of different directions. And we look at some of those, like scenes from The Wire. How is that telling a story? The
yeah,
Facebook page for The Wire, even this course.
yeah.
Together, we're like sort of creating a story collaboratively.
Yeah, and it's also the interesting thing about digital storytelling is it gets to the very essence of what digital is. It's usually nonlinear, distributed. It can be micro instances of storytelling. So, how can a tweet be a story? Over lunch last week, Lakeisha brought up the idea of the 6-word story, and the idea that you can tell something in a very kind of brief, succinct 6 words. And there's the famous one. Baby Shoes for Sale, Never Worn by Hemingway, or reportedly by Hemingway. But, thinking about storytelling in very different ways, nonlinear and micro, as in a lot of the sites, whether it be Twitter, Flickr, the dependence upon visuals now for storytelling. So yeah, it's a great book, and it's a great chapter of a book. And Brian Alexander really is, a fascinating person to think about. And he's been doing this on his own blog for a decade. He's one of the people who I first got introduced when I came into the field. And he's awesome, and he's accessible. So if you write interesting stuff about his work, he might very well comment on yours. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. All right. And we're looking at creative assignments this week.
Yeah.
3 daily creates.
3 rather than 4 last week. This week we're going to do 3. And I just want to make a quick point just how blown away I was by the time, energy, and effort people in Wire 106 put into these daily creates. I mean, they were great. The logos were amazing. The Calvin Ball assignment that Joe Murphy submitted was amazing stuff. I mean, I was really blown away by what students did. The transit map story of a known work. I mean, just really cool stuff. So keep it
Yeah.
up. I'm finding the daily crate to be a real joy.
Yeah, it sounds like they're really enjoying them too. That daily exercise. And it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It just has to be regular, daily.
That's true. And 10 minutes too long, right? Like more than 10 minutes too long. Keep it simple. But people have spent more than 10 minutes. And you know what? If you believe in it and you want to create something awesome, go for it. You'll get credit for that.
Yeah. So the big thing for this week is exploring the assignment bank.
Yeah.
Um, and from the DS106, you find that under components, I believe, the assignment bank.
And maybe like, you know what? Maybe right now, since we can share our screen, maybe we'll just do a little bit. I'll go through and just show um, the assignment bank quickly, and they can explore it. But just for a quick second, we'll go in and we'll take a look and just see what that looks like. Now, let me go here. There's the entire screen, and I'm sharing Paul Bond, right? So Paul Bond
Yeah.
shared. So let me just move out of this because for me it's freaking out. Let me go back here and find that screen. I put it in full screen, and now that I did that, it's not working for me. So that is stupid. Because now all I would do is get the full screen of the video. So once I figure out how to work my Mac, I'll be a much happier person. All right, let me see if this works. Okay, so we're going to go here, and you tell me if this works. So here we go. I'm try and share my entire screen. I'm going to go here and go to
There
the
you go. Yeah.
good. So sorry about that. So here's the actual visual assignment. So if I click here, I can actually see a whole range of visual assignments. You'll notice there's a ton of them, right? So you can go and pick out this week any assignment you want to do. So you have to do up to 6 stars, and you'll notice everyone has a star rating here. So you do at least 6 stars. You can do more of 3 different assignments, and you're going to try and take some of these assignments and relate them to the wire. There's some quick wire ones up here, but there's actually assignments that you can do: patent pending, image manipulation of a historical narrative, etc., etc. So you'll choose one of these, and let's find this chimeratic composition. And I would actually go, I get 2.5 stars for this. I would actually post it, and then notice you're going to use these visual assignment tags in your blog post. And if you tag your blog post with these assignment tags, they'll show up. Many people did this well for the summarizing a GIF in the summarizing an episode in 6 GIFs. But if your post didn't show up on that actual assignment page, then you didn't tag it right. And you have to tag these assignments this week right. And we're asking you to do one assignment of the 3 based on each episode of The Wire you watch this week. Episode 13, episode 1 of season 2, and episode 2 of season 2. And you can do any assignment, so any category of assignment based on one of those episodes. And we're asking you to mix it up. So do one visual maybe, one video, one design, etc. So that's the design of the assignment bank. And we're asking you to explore this to kind of get familiar, because we'll be using this extensively over the next couple of weeks. And we just want to make sure that people know what's going on and they're familiar. So that's the assignment bank in brief. And I'm sorry for the confusion at the beginning. I'll try and cut some of that out.
Yeah. Well, that's good. 3 assignments from 3 different categories, um, at least 6 stars worth.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And they can be a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, they are fun. I mean, the thing is with the assignments is have fun with them.
Yeah.
You do want to make sure that you read Alan Levine's awesome resource for writing up DS106 assignments. You want to actually talk about your thinking and talk about your process. Again, If you don't do a perfect assignment, that's not the issue. But if you don't narrate a perfect assignment, so for example, you do a perfect visual assignment, but don't talk about how you did it and your thinking and etc., then you won't get credit. So narrating your process is essential in DS106. So that's a heads up for that.
Yeah, if the thing totally bombs, but you explain what you were trying to do and why you think it went wrong, that's a good assignment.
Exactly. I
So,
agree.
yeah. Um, and I guess the other thing to point out is if you can't find an assignment you like, you get to make them up too.
That's
So,
right. Yeah, during the wire 106 lunches last week, which were great, students came up with some great assignments. So this might be a time to kind of submit those as assignments and start playing with those. Submitting wire 106 specific assignments for any of those categories is a great idea this week too if you're inspired because you have to submit 2 assignments anyway. So you can get on that right away.
yeah. All right. Next
Organizing
thing
your
we have up is, yeah.
So now it's time to think that we're getting into this and we're doing assignments, daily creates, weekly summaries, etc. We want you to think about organizing your blog. And the best way to do this with DS106 is by creating categories. Um, so we want you to create a series of 7 categories: assignments, daily create, thoughts and ideas, weekly summaries, best work, radio show, and final project. These are all assignments you'll be using over the course of this semester. And those will be ones, when you do a daily create, for example, you'll check the box, the category box daily create. Same with assignments. You'll check assignments. The difference about assignments is it's going to have subcategories. You're going to have video, visual, design, audio, web, and mashup remix. And those all need to be subcategories of assignments. So assignments will be the parent category. So there's information this all over the web. If you have any problems, do a Google search, see if you can figure it out. If you're still having issues, let us know. But you'll see in this image at the bottom, it gives you an idea of what the category structure might look like. And that's probably a good idea. Finally, once you've created these categories, you'll need to create an organized menu to reflect the framework. And we have a link there to a kind of tutorial for UMW domains on creating menus in WordPress. Experiment with that. We should see your sites not only now with an about page, with a new theme, with a new title, but now with a kind of organization that befits the class based on these various categories. And we'll be looking for that this week. And that's kind of more blog work, so to speak. Make sense, Paul?
Yeah, good. Um, when we do those categories, does that automatically tag them for that category?
It doesn't. It actually only puts them in a category.
Okay.
They still have to add assignment tags, like
Okay.
visual assignments and visual assignment the number. So those tags are still essential. This will actually just categorize them on their blog.
It just organizes them, but then you'll still need to tag them for them to feed through to the assignment bank correctly.
Absolutely.
Good.
Good point. Big fan.
And our next thing is engaging the class.
Oh, you know how I feel about this, right?
Always be commenting.
Oh, ABC. Always be commenting. Absolutely. And, I said it before, I'll say it again. Commenting is what makes this class interesting and what gives us this online class a sense of community. And commenting doesn't only have to happen in the blog. It can happen on Twitter, on Flickr, SoundCloud, YouTube, you name it. But you need to comment. And you need to document as many of your comments as you can in your weekly summary post, as a heads up. The other thing is, I was talking to Paul, um, we'll know if you've installed Jetpack because when you install Jetpack, it gives you the option to subscribe to people's posts via email. So if you're on Jetpack, I know that because I'm getting your recent posts via email. So really, I highly recommend installing Jetpack and again, moderating comments so people get credit for the comments they left on your site.
And Akismet they need installed.
Akismet too. Good point. If you're not installing Akismet, you're going to start getting spam. And spam is terrible. So spam are the cockroaches of the web, and WordPress gets spam bad. So you really have to do this sooner than later.
Yeah.
Also, Twitter. What do you think about Twitter, Paul?
Yeah. A bunch of people are really taking advantage of that. It's a great way of creating a community as well. is comments. Another place where that can take place.
Yeah, it is. And for me, you know, Twitter's the lifeblood, like commenting, of interaction. So you get to see people, they get feedback on their work, they're sharing their work there. And if you're not on Twitter, you're missing a huge part of the class and a huge part of the experience. And by extension, you won't get full credit for participating if you're not interacting on Twitter. Now, follow the hashtag DS106 and wire106. And you can do that on the Twitter web-based interface, or you can download something called TweetDeck, which is kind of interesting, and it's linked in the post. Another way to get at Twitter this week, we're going to try and do and get at sharing across the various social sites, is we're going to start using Known a little bit more regularly, and we're going to build it into the kind of framework of the class. So you should all have Knowns installed. Some of you have been using it. Thanks to Lauren Bromfeld, she's been kind of feeding back on, how it works and how it does it, and that's great. But for this week, I want everyone to post links in Known to their most recent blog posts and to their daily creates and to their weekly summaries. So what's nice about Known is you get there, it's a simple interface, and if you did a blog post on your WordPress, you're going to put in the title, you're going to put in a link, and you're going to include the hashtags because that tag field is not working. So include tags in the post, the update post, and send those to Twitter and to the Wire106 Hub. This way, we'll have some kind of regular space where you can see what's happening in the class on Twitter, and it will also show up on the Wire106 Hub. And so what we'll have is we'll have records of what's happening that go to the social media space, but also follow up on that hub. And the thing about Known that I think is interesting is that's your space. It's your original copy of that social media. So if something goes away, like SoundCloud or YouTube or Twitter, you have those originals. That's yours. That's your record for the class and also beyond. So play with Known again this week. We'll be expecting that you post there regularly all of the daily creates, all of your blog posts, and your weekly summary. So you'll post them on your blog, but you'll tweet them out or send them to SoundCloud or Flickr or wherever through Known, FYI. Make sense, Paul?
Yeah, the other nice thing about Twitter and that DS106 hashtag is there's a whole community of people out online that are following along with this outside of this class, and they can offer you feedback and ideas and inspiration as well if you get your information out there in Twitter.
Exactly, and there's also another class at Mary Washington, right? So Jen Pollock's DS106 class is using the same hashtags, and I'm looking at and commenting on a lot of their work too. So you're not limited to this group of people in this class. You not only have the whole wide world of internet, and there's a web community around DS106, but you also have another 25 to 30 students in a different section. So use that, experiment with that, and get the sense that this class is not limited to these 25 people. And if you complain that this class doesn't have a community, that's because you're not exploring it. So keep that in mind. Now, the other two elements this week we're repeating from last week. You'll all have to be part of a video discussion at least 3 times this semester. We have 3 video discussions scheduled for this week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. The details are in the post. So feel free to sign up for a video discussion this week. And Paul and I will send you discussion questions and get your email and bring you into that. The other thing is the Wire106 lunch. If you're interested in doing lunch, we'll do pizza off campus at a place called Brothers on Thursday and Friday. Please, if you want lunch, you want to hang out, you want to talk with the Wire, sign up. And that's it in terms of interaction, right? Although there's a bunch of it, which I like. But that's it in terms of interaction. Any more points on that one, Paul?
No, I think we've got it good. We had a few people sit in our discussions,
Yeah.
and it worked out really well. We like to get, the students in there as well as, our crazy ideas. So
Yeah, I think it's great. And actually, Maggie, who was in the discussions this week, gave us a good recommendation. Like,
yeah,
structure it a little bit more when you're coming in, that you have an idea of what you want to talk about. And I would actually say yes. And if you're going to be part of a discussion, we'll send you some discussion questions, but also blog your thoughts and your ideas beforehand so that you have a sense of what you want to talk about. Because we'll give you some discussions, but we don't want to actually send a playbook. We want you to bring your reading to the video discussion. We don't want to kind of impose on ours on yours. So we want to balance that idea a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's your class. You get to make it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, finally, we'll be watching episode 13 of season 1, which means we finished the entire first season of The Wire. Yay! And we'll be starting episodes 1 and 2 of season 2. So we're digging into season 2 this week, and we're finishing season 1, which is pretty cool, given that we're...
Just showed up at my desk as we were speaking.
What's that?
Wire season 2.
Okay.
It showed up on my desk as we were speaking.
This is awesome. Yeah, so we're ready. I love Sabaka. I love season 2. A lot of people, I don't know, they kind of give or take on season 2. Season 2 for me is it's magic. I love it.
Yeah, well, we can dig into it and, show them what we like about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's it for week 3. You think that's enough, Paul? Can we give them anything else?
Yeah, that's good. We got 3 daily creates,
Yep.
3 assignments from 3 different categories. That's the big thing. Blog and tweet and comment all over the place.
Organize your stuff
Yep.
and watch your wire 106. Watch your wire episode
Watch TV. Yeah.
and watch TV. Yeah. How hard can that be? Awesome.
All right.
Good luck.
Yep. Until
Yeah,
next time.
Ash.